So this week, the deal was done with Citywest Hotel in Dublin, effectively taking Ireland's biggest hotel out of the tourist industry and placing it into the hands of the government, into the hands of the state, to be run solely as a IPAS International Protection Accommodation Services Centre. Massive deal has been sealed this week. As you can see, 148 million euro has been spent buying up this hotel for asylum seeker accommodation. Government running a community engagement plan following local concerns in Dublin. Well, it's too late for that now. The deal has been done. The deed has been done, and the local community will undoubtedly suffer as a result of that. So that's a picture of the hotel. It's a luxurious hotel. There's a conference centre. There's 50 odd acres of ground around this also. And this is part of the government's plan, the Irish government's plan to buy up multiple properties under state ownership, which will effectively never revert back to the public again, at least not for 25 years in the case of Citywest. And this is going to have a devastating impact on local communities, as we've seen the length, breadth, depth of Ireland. But before we get into the details of this one, I want to show you some video clips of the people that are staying in this hotel, have been staying in this hotel for years and will continue to stay in this hotel. If the government get their way, they're talking about 25-year projections. So this is going to be ongoing for at least the next 25 years. And just a little bit of background, the hotel was initially commissioned for COVID-19 testing. Then it was used to house Ukrainian refugees. And then after that, various other sorts have found their way in there and then moved from there into other accommodations throughout Dublin and across Ireland. It is mad. So I'll let you see the size of some of these communal areas, the people that are staying in them, and how they trash the place. The place has been wrecked on several occasions, and multiple instances where guards and hospitalizations have been required because of infighting within this place. But I'll let you see it for yourself. So here we have a group of men. As you can see, this was recorded back in 2023. Look at them. All men, all standing around watching plasma TVs or widescreen TVs. No women, no children in this case, all standing there with smartphones, videoing it and then posting it onto the internet. Look at this. Look at this. It's another group. This is all at the Irish taxpayers' expense. Look at the smiles on their faces. Look at them. Do they look persecuted to you? Do they look like they've been fleeing from war to you? All smiling, all grinning, all well dressed, all with their smartphones. This is what's being housed or has been housed in this Citywest complex. Look at this. From all over the place, into Citywest. Now, it's not all smiling and it's not all fun and games. There's been many, many instances where the place is kicked off. All those men stuck in there together, nowhere to go and nothing to do. Eventually tensions boil over and then we have mass wrecking going on. So you can see that for your own eyes too.
I know, but I know. Be careful.
Seen one man in a security vest, a blue security vest, and one man with a fire marshal vest on in that conference room or in that communal area with what, 1,000+ men in there, angry, aggravated men in there, volatile men in there. Where's the women? Where's the women? Where's the children? If you're watching this, you live in Ireland, you work, you pay taxes, you're paying for this. You're paying for this. You're paying for their food. You're paying for their accommodation. You're paying for their sundries. You're paying for the security. You're paying for it all.
Fight against the refugee between Algerians and Georgians.
That's someone commentating to say that this fight is going on between Syrians and Jordanians, or Syrianis and Jordanianis, as he said. So this is a fight that's kicking off, a mass brawl between a group of Syrians, apparently, and a group of Jordanians. And it's being narrated by someone else who's probably neither Syrian nor Jordanian.
Yes, big fight. Citywest Hub.
You heard him say it as well, Citywest, big scrap, big brawl in Citywest. And he's making his way rightly towards the exit. He doesn't want to get caught up in it.
Citywest Hub.
Look at all those men. Look at all those men. All men. Not saying it is all men staying there, but I'm just saying there's 3 separate clips taken over the space of several years, and there's just hundreds, if not thousands, of men in there. So, as we've seen, sold for 148 million. The deal has been done. It will turn it into a permanent international protection centre. Jim O'Callaghan, the so-called Justice Minister, has been instrumental in pushing this forward. He's been tabling this deal. He's been pushing to get it done, and it was done last Wednesday, or just a few days ago. The government is now running a community engagement plan following local concerns about the plan to take over the biggest hotel in Ireland. So the government now owns the biggest hotel in Ireland, which is not being used for Irish homeless people. It is not being used for tourism. It is being used to house these men who are flooding into the country. The hotel's leisure centre, which has 3,000 members, I guarantee you what, those people wrecking the place in the chow hall aren't paying members of that, will remain open to the local community under new government ownership. How do you think the membership's going to go in that? Do you think it'll be boosted, or do you think it'll be impacted negatively because of this purchase? Local people in Sagart, the area around it, organised protests in Dublin, but to no avail. 8,000 signatures were gathered, door-to-door petitions around about areas, Sagart, Rathcoole, Citywest. Concerns include the effective loss of Ireland's largest hotel will have on its community. Now listen to this. That area, Sagart, has doubled in size since 2011. Population went up by 46% in the census between 2016 and 2022. So despite the fact the population has doubled, doubled since 2011 in the last 14 years, the village only has 1 pub, 2 small restaurants, and a Dunnes store and a Centra local shop. They've got 4 effective businesses there. 1 pub, 2 restaurants, a Dunnes and a Centra. 5 with a doubled population, most of which coming from men like this. The 764-bedroom hotel and conference centre has been leased by the state since 2020, so it's been pretty much out of action for 5 years already. As you can see, it was used as COVID-19 testing and jab centre. Then in 2022, converted to accommodation for processing asylum seekers and Ukrainian refugees. Well, as you can see, there was no Ukrainians in those videos. Syrians, Jordanians, Indians, people coming from the Middle East. Ukrainians also, everyone except Irish. O'Callaghan secured government approval. He's went ahead. He said the 150 million euros good value for money. What do you think? Is it good value for money? Over 4 years, we believe we will have got our money back. Would we do? We think. He doesn't know anything. And over 25 years, the state will save over 1 billion euro. So that shows you, in O'Callaghan's own words, his projection for this is 25 years, 4 years in the short term, 25 years plus in the long term. It outlines what the government's long-term plans are with regards to bringing people in on asylum tickets. Earlier this year, the state's bill for IPASS, or international protection, hit €1 billion. €1 billion for the first time in 2024. The total spend of 1 billion last year was 50% up on the 650 million in 2023. Absolutely scandalous. Scandalous. And what are they getting for all that money? The daily spend includes all accommodation, all ancillary costs, facilities management, related expenditure. Everything is laid on for these men. Everything is laid on for these men. And yet we're seeing 5,000 Irish children living in temporary accommodation or homeless, 5,000, while these men are being bussed into this state-of-the-art luxury, Ireland's largest hotel. What message is that sending out? The company previously owned the Citywest Hotel received more than 18 million from the state in the first 3 months of this year. Some money in this. A lot of Irish people getting rich off the back of this. Cape Wrath Hotel Unlimited, owned by Tetrarch Capital, key provider in the state's iPass system, also received more than 70 million last year. My goodness me. And now the place has been sold for 148 million. So no shortage of money when it comes to accommodating and looking after and facilitating people flooding in from overseas on so-called asylum claims, refugee claims. But if you're Irish and homeless, the number's growing, record-breaking levels, over 15,000, 5,000 of whom are children. It's a disgrace. It's an abomination. Let me know what you think. Particularly interested to hear from any residents that are in and around this area, of the Sagard area or the Citywest area in Dublin. What do you think? What's the reality of what's going to happen to that area? Will it just go into complete decline? Will it destroy house prices? Will people move out? What is this, the word on the street if you're a resident of that area? Or can you see it coming to other big towns and cities soon? I'm looking at Cork, I'm looking at Galway, places like that. Massive places under construction at the minute. So leave me your thoughts and comments below and share this content freely. Cut and paste the link, drop it wherever you like, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so. I'm Rick Munn. This is No Risk, No Reward Media, over and out.